Good morning, afternoon, or evening, yogis. This is Echo. Thank you for being here and for supporting the channel and for supporting yourselves on this journey. These practices are really inspired to find holistic ways to come into healing of not just the body, but the mind. And I'm sure, as you've noticed, if you've taken this journey with me, that the practices have become more and more around integration of the mind and body connection. And today's practice feels really important to me, at least for myself. And when it's important for me, it's important for everyone else because we are all the same in many ways. And so interesting, I just led a workshop in this space at Yoga Kendra in Sweden. And it was so beautiful, and so many people stand up to share, and they have this very unique experience of deep pain and suffering that they're moving through. And then when you say, who else can relate? And it's like everybody's hand goes up. And even though in that moment, it's such a sharp feeling of your own pain and your own processing, you realize like, oh, I'm not so dissimilar to all the people that are around me. So when I think I'm having this unique, painful experience, I'm actually in company with so many others. So this is a practice of grounding. It's a practice of what do I do when I feel so overwhelmed, when I feel tears coming, and when I feel my heart cracked open, and when I feel like running and I feel restless. And even as I say this, like I can embody that feeling so quickly, like I can feel the goosebumps come in and my throat gets tight. And this is about tuning in with you, like, why are you here today? What brought you to your yoga mat? How are you feeling? When we are healing, sometimes we feel a lot worse than when we began the healing journey because we dislodge all these emotions. So much comes up and it's like we're just feeling flooded. We're crying all the time. We might feel anxiety for the first time ever. This is something in the last few years that I was like, I'm not an anxious person. And then after the numbing of my body thawed out and everything began to turn back on, which was beautiful for the first time ever in my life, I could feel things in my body that I couldn't feel before. With it came anxiety and this trembling in my body. And you can see me, I'm just like moving. It's trembling. And feeling just so much. And it's like, what do I do with all that energy? And this is a practice for that. And you add your own flavors to it, but really it's about coming back to presence, coming home, meeting yourself, like coming back into yourself deeply. And so we ground. So that being said, grab a trusty block or a cushion or a pile of dirty laundry to prop your hips up on. And let's take a seat. Let's be with what is. Hands resting on the knees. Relax the shoulders. Something I like to do to release energy here is a hand scream. So if you need to see it, you can open the eyes, but we're gonna hand scream for a moment. And a hand scream comes from the back of the throat. It's like, ugh. It's not, ah. So, because we don't wanna hurt our voices, but on the exhale, we're gonna scream into our hands and shake our bodies and release any stuck energy. We're gonna do it 3 times, and it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel strange, and you're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. Or you're not gonna love it, and it's still gonna be great. So take an inhale. And shake. And do it in a way that supports your body. Don't contract. Let's do one more inhale. Shake. Last one. Inhale. Hands resting down, shut the eyes. And just feel the energy coursing through you. Deep breaths in all the way from the belly up across the chest. Regulate your nervous system by deep breaths. Each exhalation grounding you more into the present moment. And reminding yourself, I am safe in my experience. Even in the overwhelm, I can breathe. I can control the nature of my experience. Come back, come back, come back home. I am safe here. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I'm safe to feel what I feel. Let's open the eyes, take an inhale, stretch the arms up. Hold at the top for a moment. Hold the breath lightly. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, nice and slow. Inhale, reach up. Hold. Relax the jaw. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Hold. Exhale to the heart. Hands on the chest. Just feel the warmth of the hands on the chest. And how often do we just touch ourselves, you know? A lot of times we wait for somebody else to take care of that need. Just touch your body where you need support right now, where you need to feel love. Because you have love to give. Even if the external world is chaotic and you don't feel like the love is being received, right here, give yourself love. And deep breath into the palms as they open the chest. Sigh out. Again, twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring the hands to the sides of the rib cage. Slight pressure in. Take an inhale nice and wide in the rib cage. And exhale, push in. Hold the belly. Inhale out. Exhale, push in. Inhale out. Exhale, push in. And hands to the hip creases. Slight pressure here. As if you're kneading dough, you can press the palms into the thighs and walk down the femurs. So walking down the legs towards the knees. And we're just getting in touch with touching the body. Like when we need support, a lot of times it's just like that fetal expression of crying out for our mothers and fathers and maybe not getting the attention we needed. And just being like, hold me. I'm in pain, hold me. But here as adults, we have our sovereignty to take care of ourselves, to hold, to touch. Release, shake, hands up, check the chest, release the block. And we come to lying on the back. Stretch the legs out in front of you. And then pull the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. And just support of the earth beneath you. This is a beautiful posture to do when you just want to be held, when you want to be that little baby, when you want to be held and rocked. Let's take a hold of the bottoms of the feet, happy baby. Knees go wide, rocking from side to side. And pull the knees into the chest and to release a little bit more energy before we fall out into just a starfish or shavasana. Pull the forehead up to the knees and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all your energy. Really squeezing all the muscles. When we feel like we are numbing out, we can't feel anything, we can come down onto our backs, just pull the knees in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Everything you've got, everything you've got. Pull in, pull in, pull in, waking the body up. And fall out. Enjoy this for a few breaths. I'm going to do it twice more. And just feel if the body is waking up or if it's just releasing some stuck energy. That aha, like, yes. Knees into the chest again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're going to stay here squeezing, squeeze. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. More, 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 more. Even your face. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Fall out. Just 2 more rounds of breath here. Knees into the chest. One last one. Squeeze as hard as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. The face. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And fall. Let the hands come to the hip bones, pressing lightly down towards the earth. And sometimes this is nice if we have somebody that's very caring about us. We can just ask them to press our hips down into the earth. And it can feel deeply relieving if we're feeling we're having a panic attack or anxiety, or we're overwhelmed with the emotions, or we're numbed out. These are beautiful tools to just coming home, that homecoming into yourself. And then place the hands wherever they feel the most needed. And we'll relax here. In our final pose, and I'll speak for another minute and I'll bring us into some stillness, and then I encourage you to stay as long as you need. But just taking note here that you are a sensitive being. We're each sensitive, feeling creatures. We're not called thinking beings, we're called sentient beings. But we've been trained by modern day society to think ourselves into so much suffering. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to feel. No matter what culture you live in, what body you're in, male, female, however you relate to the world, take yourself out of the boxes and just let yourself feel what you feel. Make space, hand scream, lay down on the earth, stretch your body, connect with your breath. You have such little time in this costume that you're wearing as you. Find a way to enjoy it. And when you feel so much, instead of just pushing it down, move through it. How can you use these tools to move through it so that it doesn't get buried deep, deep, deep down? Stay here for as long as you need, and even longer. And enjoy what it means to be you. All the feelings from the vast spectrum of your experience. Namaste.